All right, all right, all right, and we're back. We're back. We are back. We are back. With another episode of Everybody Eats B. Glad to be with you. Glad to be with you. Unfortunately, well, actually, it's really not unfortunate. I'm happy. It's me and my man Mike, aka
Eh,
Mikey Millions, aka Frank. Hey, hey,
uh,
oh, Mike, how you doing, bro? What up? What up?
yeah, that never get old, bro. That's hilarious. I'm good, preacher, man. I'm sorry we wasn't here for everybody last week. You know, my grandmother passed away, so I had to handle some of that business back home in Buffalo. But I'm back home in the D, and man, I'm ready to get to this money. Mikey Millions, my alter ego now.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. We got y'all, man. Listen, we got y'all. If you want to make some money, if you want to get into the money, listen to what we got to say. We about to give y'all these, great picks. Very meticulous this week. You know what I'm saying? That we looked over them. But yeah, we about to get into the money, and just to let y'all know, me and Mike, we do a particular DFS. Mike, you did the same DFS, right?
Yeah,
60,000.
60,000,
60,000. So we
60,000.
both did 60,000. To be honest, I looked up the 50,000 one, the 50,000 DFS lineup, and there are some differences. But if you can figure it out with the same players, then you could get in the money as well. You can get in the money as well. But so Mike, what I want to do is I want to start off, Mike, and this week for me, I think I don't know about you. Receiver for me was it kind of came easy. It seemed like it was a lot of options. So that's where I want to start right now. I want to start with right receiver. So Mike, but let me know, man. What you
Oh
doing?
man. It's funny because when we thought Mills was coming on, I was going to bring us in a host. I was going to start at wide receivers because man, my wide receivers this week, preach. Let me tell you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And let me go ahead and say I'm sorry to start. I'm sorry, Bills fans. Like I love y'all, I love the team, but let's be serious, man. Seattle is coming in, and Seattle is throwing the ball.
Absolutely.
They're throwing the ball, and I'm gonna give Trey a little respect.
Absolutely.
I know Rad said that he think they're gonna put Trey on Lockett because he can't check DK and no double team DK. I think Trey gonna say, "Hey, y'all paid me the money, give me DK." Patrick Peterson does a good job on him. Let me watch that film. I got DK. That leaves nobody for Tyler Lockett, so that's why I went Tyler Lockett, my first pick. Bills defense is sorry. It's going to probably be a high scoring game because Seattle defense is also sorry. So they're going to have to score a lot. And that second cornerback been getting killed for the Bills all year. They've been getting killed all year. So I'm expecting a big day from Tyler Lockett. And I started with him as my first wide receiver.
I like it. I like it. And I do have Tyler Lockett in one of my lineups. I have Tyler Lockett in one of my lineups. Me personally, I don't. I really it doesn't matter. Tyler Lockett's gonna somebody's gonna go off. So I mean, like we know that somebody's gonna go off. But for me, I went Brandon Cooks, man. I'm gonna just say it. I went Brandon Cooks, and the reason why is because one, Brandon Cooks was 6,100. He was a lot cheaper than Will Fuller, and when you're dealing with these tournament plays, sometimes it is important to look at the percentage of how many other people pick these players, right? And granted, there are a lot of sites out there you can try to look at that for yourself. But Will Fuller was definitely way higher than Brandon Cooks, and Brandon Cooks has been coming on strong. And if you remember, it was a couple weeks ago against the Jaguars, Brandon Cooks had his best game. He had one of his best games. He actually had a breakout game against the Jaguars. And for me, it's a lot in my opinion. Like it's a legit lock that Brandon Cooks should have. You know what I mean? A pretty good game. And I got him against the Jaguars. Understand that Jaguar. I think they starting Fig Luton, whatever his name is. He's terrible. But at the end of the day, I think that Deshaun Watson is going to have an amazing game. The Jaguars is probably one of the worst teams in football, and I got Brandon Cooks. I got Brandon Cooks. I got Brandon Cooks.
I had Brandon Cooks in my flex for a little bit because I was like, I'm gonna go Brandon Cooks instead of Will Fuller, like a same thought as you. But at the end, I couldn't afford him. So you're gonna see what my flex is when we get there. But my second wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying in the same game, man, because I got said it's going to be a shootout. I don't care. The Bills might try to slow down the game and let them run the ball. Seattle is throwing the ball.
Absolutely.
They're throwing the ball, and the Bills gonna have to keep up because the defense is not good enough to shut them down. So if Seattle scored 31, the Bills are going to score 32. And Seattle defense is terrible.
Express.
Let me check. I believe
Style
they
for
are 32nd versus the
versatility.
pass. Let me remind everybody, it's 32 teams in the league. So they are last in pass defense. So I went Stephon Diggs because, Preach, you say it all the time on the show. Josh Allen go to the line, he say hike, and he throw the ball to Stephon Diggs. And that's it. That's it. So Stephon Diggs, I'm expecting big numbers from him. I'm expecting him to go over 100. Touchdowns, I'm not sure, but the yardage is going to be there for sure. And if you get 100 yards and a touchdown or two, you're in the money. So I'm with Stephon Diggs, my second wide receiver.
For sure. Stephon Diggs should have an amazing day. He's a lot. He's a lot. But I kind of went back and forth on this one. I got a few lineups in, but the lineup I settled on, I have Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen he's on the tear. He probably is like very high owned, but it doesn't matter, man. Like I'm taking the points. He's been getting double digit targets. Justin Herbert has been playing out of his mind. And most pundits believe that this game against the Las Vegas Raiders is going to be a shootout, right? It's going to be and probably look for those stacks. If you're out there, you might want to stack this game. Derek Carr is not playing terrible, but nonetheless, Justin Herbert is playing good ball. And listen, I got Keenan Allen. I got him in one of my fantasy leagues. I mean, he's Mr. Reliable, but he also has upside. He also has, big time upside. And so, that's who I'm going with. That's who I am going with. Mike, what up?
All right. My third wide receiver. Definitely. Oh, nope. It isn't my last wide receiver. Rad is not here. So as a homage to my brother Rad, just he's dealing with more house stuff. He's been dealing with house stuff for about 4 months, I feel like. I went Deontay Johnson. Against Dallas because Dallas is terrible. Dallas defense, they are ranked 26 in defense, but they are ranked 12 against the pass. But that is mainly because they are ranked 32nd against the rush. Teams get up big, they run the ball, so that's why they are so bad in the rush and not terrible against the pass. But to be honest, it doesn't matter. If Deontay Johnson get his targets and yards in the first 3 quarters, that's all you really need. They're gonna have the ball a lot because the defense is gonna take it away from Dallas probably every single time. So Pittsburgh, kind of like the Green Bay game. The Green Bay game last night versus San Fran. By the third quarter, fourth quarter, like all the good players were done. But if you had them on your team, you don't care. Devontae Adams had 100 yards at halftime. So I'm going with Deontay Johnson against Dallas. The Dallas stinks.
I like it. I actually like it. Deontay Johnson is actually a really, really good GPP play. GPP meaning a tournament play for all those who do not know. But fortunately, Mike said Mills is here. I told Mills to hop on in. Let me just catch Mills up. Mills, we gave our 2 wide receiver picks. I had Brandon Cooks and Keenan Allen. We're doing a $60,000 lineup. Mike, who's your first one? Stephon Diggs, Tyler Lockett, and Deontay Johnson. Let me give mines, and then I'm going to let you rip off 3 wide receivers. All right, Mills? So I got Henry Ruggs. I like this Las Vegas Raiders against the Chargers game. Like I said before, the pundits say that it's supposed to be, a high-scoring game. The over-under is over 50. And I think Derek Carr is playing some of the best ball of his life. Henry Ruggs, to be honest, I'm looking just for 2 huge plays, right? That's it. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for 2 huge plays, at least a 60-yard bomb, maybe for a touchdown, maybe another 30-yarder. That's it. That's all I need to get into the money. So I got Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs only 5,700. backtrack. Keenan Allen was 7,500 and Brandon Cooks was 6,100. So Henry Ruggs, I think he's a steal. Mills, give me 3 wide receivers, but tell me first before Mike, what you got to say?
All right, so Preach, I'm kind of learning your team, right?
Yeah.
Because the wide receivers that you had, I had them also, but for the team I wanted, I couldn't. I got rid of them, but I can tell. I think I know what defense you already have by how much money you spent on your wide receivers so far. I probably know your quarterback because it sounds very similar to what I had at one point with Ruggs and Cook.
Yeah.
My wide receivers were 70, 74, 76, and Deontay was a little cheaper with 6,000.
Yeah.
But I spent a little bit more money on my wide receivers than you, so I'm gonna be hurt at my defense and maybe my tight end compared to you. And that's why I think I know who you went. I think you spent big money on those, so you didn't have it for the wide receivers.
Yes and no. You'll see. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
I want to see. Also, I do want to address Mills because Mills looked like he got on black Air Force Ones right now. Like he looked like he just hit a lick. Bro, you good?
I'm all black. I'm back. I'm all black.
The hoodie?
I'm back. I'm strapped. I'm ready to go. What up? I'm back.
The energy, I love it.
Sorry for the wait. I asked Mike to play my intro, but we're going to say that for Tuesdays. You know what I mean? But I'm back. I think Preach asked for my 3 receivers.
I did.
I'm going to give them to y'all real quick.
Mills.
First receiver.
How much money did you have?
I had 50,000.
Okay. Let's let people know.
Short bands.
50,000. So I spent 7,400. Hometown team player Stephon Diggs. Seattle.
I gotta change.
You definitely gotta change.
It should be a high scoring game, so I went Stephon Diggs. Number 2 receiver, like I said, high scoring game. I went Tyler Lockett.
Oh no!
We're gonna be so locked in on DK. I think Tyler gonna have a big game. If you look at the past 3 games, they kind of been alternating, man. Tyler went off, DK went off last week. I think Tyler gonna have a big game this week. And then my 3rd receiver, I went Marvin Hall for Detroit. Galladay not playing.
I'm changing my team.
For some reason, they don't like Marvin Jones. I don't know why.
You went Marvin Hall?
Mills.
Marvin Hall, bro. He had a big game last week.
I don't know if you knew, but Marvin Hall, do you know that Matt Stafford may not play? Meaning that you won't know up until Sunday because he's on a COVID list.
Matty Ace, he playing, bro. Trust me. I got an inside source.
Today. All right, Matt. All right. I listen. I got him in fantasy, as y'all know, and I'm upset because I had to take him on my lineup because I don't know if he's gonna play or not. But Mike, let me say that
I know Galladay not playing.
He's definitely not playing. But Matt Stafford, the only way he could listen, if he tests negative all the way up until Sunday, then he could possibly be in. But we don't know.
Yeah, he should be good. I had an insider, so he should be good.
Okay, how much was that Marvin Hall pick? Like that was
46. Oh,
he was
no.
only he was 38 for me. 38.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he's only 4,600 on FanDuel, but I didn't pick him because of that.
It's between him and Henry Ruggs though. So if
stay there, Mills.
Stafford don't play, so
no, stay there. Listen,
I'm good.
Listen, the running joke, I'm telling y'all, man, Mills, man, when your team is lining up with Mills, you gotta go the other way. You gotta go the other way.
I won last week.
You gotta fade the public.
I won last week, so I'm good.
So, Mike, let me start with you, man. What I want to do, let me go tight end. I'm gonna go tight end. I want to hear your tight ends, or your tight end rather, I should say.
So for me, okay. Priest might have gave us a little foreshadowing, a little Freudian slip with tight ends, multiple plural.
Nah.
I
ain't wilding, y'all. Actually, hold on, Mike. Listen, everybody know in the fantasy draft, I was going with the 2 tight ends, but if you look in hindsight, I'm grateful because George Kittle was done.
Kittle, man, killed me.
Yeah, he killed me too last week. That's neither here nor there.
But so contractually, I have to pick somebody that's playing the Falcons on the show because I came up with the name Everybody Eats B when I was talking about the Falcons and Everybody Eat gets the Falcons. I had to go Noah Fant. Against Atlanta. He was cheaper. He was 5,800. Like, Travis Kelce going for 8,000. You got Mark Andrews going for like 78. Like, to get Noah Fant against a 32nd ranked or Like, well, a terrible pass defense, a terrible defense in Atlanta. I like that. Drew Lock, he said he's gonna keep dancing. If you don't like it, oh well. So I'm fine with that. So I don't know what to expect from Noah Fant, but if he's playing Atlanta, like I'm hopeful. So I went with Noah Fant against the Atlanta Falcons.
Mills, who you got tight end?
It's probably nobody you guys got.
I hope not.
So y'all should be safe. This tight end actually scored the last 2 weeks. I went Logan Thomas against the Giants. Somebody got to score for Washington, and I think he'd be that option for him, especially in the red zone. He was 37, so he wasn't much for me either. So I went Logan Thomas.
I'm with Mike. No offense. We in lockstep. I thought about some other, pivot options, but maybe a TJ Hockenson or something like that. I could have actually spent up for him a little bit, but I got Travis Kelce in other lineups. Like, I'm not gonna play around with that, but I'm gonna give Noah Fant a try. They're playing Atlanta. Drew Lock he had a really not good game for 3 quarters, but then he went off for the 4th quarter. But Atlanta he should be able to have a good game, right? He should be able to have a good game. And that's who I got. So, Mike, let me go with your quarterback. Who do you have at quarterback? The reason why I went it that way, so we got pass catchers out the way. Let's see where you going with quarterback. Did you go with a stack, or you went with somebody left?
I did go with a stack. I wanted Allen or Russie. I couldn't do it because I spent too much on my wide receivers, but I'm happy with my pick. I went Big Ben, man. I went Big Ben because Dallas is terrible and Big Ben is balling. Pittsburgh, top 5 offense, top 5 defense. They still had a ball all game because I can't imagine Dallas doing anything. Andy Dalton is not playing. The other guy isn't playing. No, the other guy is playing because Andy Dalton is on IR. It doesn't matter who's playing. They are terrible. They are that bad. Big Ben should have the ball all game. Like Aaron Rodgers, do your damage first 3 quarters. If the 4th quarter you want to chill and have a drink, that's fine. But Deontay Johnson, Juju, Claypool, throw into the backs, whatever you need to do, Big Ben. He was cheaper than a lot of people. He was only like $7,700 or something, so he was way cheaper than a lot of people. Getting Big Ben against a terrible Dallas team, a terrible Dallas team. I'm happy about it.
Mills, who you got?
It was a toss-up for me. I was thinking Big Ben too, for that same reason. But I steered away from there. I was also thinking Lamar Jackson. I figured he had to have a makeup game from last week because he was just terrible. But like Mike said, for him. I spent the bread. I spent $7,000. I went Josh Allen. I like to link up a wide receiver with a quarterback. I told you I got Stephon Diggs. I like that double punch, double money, double point setup when they score. So I went Josh Allen for $7,000.
Okay.
Seattle was terrible.
I went a little
defense,
somewhat left, and I actually probably should have stacked this, but I spent up at quarterback at 8,600. I went Kyler Murray. And the reason being is because Kyler Murray presents a floor, right? He's going to run all over Miami. Miami has their defensive scheme is more geared towards man-to-man. And when you have a running quarterback and, the cornerbacks and everybody else is going with the receivers.
Turn their back, it's over.
You know what I mean? He's just going to, you know what I'm saying?
Josh Allen, Cam Newton, had good days.
Exactly. So I think that Kyler Murray is going to have at least 70, 80 yards rushing. And hopefully he can give me, if he give me a solid 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, DeAndre Hopkins can give me a couple. I'm Gucci. You know what I mean? I'm in the money. And so, yeah, I spent up 8,600 Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray's going to take me to the promised land, y'all. Hold on one second. I just got to update. I just want to make sure. I don't think Matt Stafford is playing, but that's neither here nor there. So
let Mills and Marvin Hall do their thing.
Matt is he good, bro. His whole family tested negative. He going to get tested again tomorrow. He going to be straight, bro.
Mills, okay. Mike, give me a defense. I want to hear your defense. What'd you do there? I'm interested.
Oh, I had your defense at first, Preach, but I took them out because they were too expensive.
How do you know?
I know your defense is, bro. I know.
No, you don't.
I constructed this team that you already have. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. I got
you
the
about to be
t-shirt.
surprised.
I know what defense.
I zigged and you zagged. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, no. All right, but my defense though. My defense, man. I picked a terrible defense, but I had no money left, and I went with who I think could give me my biggest bang for my buck, and that's the Minnesota Vikings, man.
Wow.
Minnesota Vikings. They are a terrible defense.
How much was they?
They were 3,400.
Wow.
3,400. But I'm banking on Stafford not playing.
He's not playing.
And listen, I live in Detroit. So I don't know who Mills Source is because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like I got my ear to the streets, Mills, to the streets. I don't know about you.
Remember Scoop? Not Skip, but Scoop. He used to be on First Take. A black skinny dude. That's Mills Source right there. or Rob Parker. He from Detroit.
I like my guy Rob Parker. So I don't know who Mills Source is, but I don't think Stafford is playing. Galladay is not playing. Marvin Hall is probably also terrible, and Marvin Jones have been playing terrible.
Hey, I didn't say he was good, but he got to throw the ball to somebody. He had 130 yards last week. You know
I respect that. I respect that, Mel. I respect that. That's fine. That's okay. But Chase Daniel is a terrible quarterback, and I'm hoping that the Vikings kind of just luck up into some turnovers. That's my plan. Chase Daniels, like I said, he's terrible. If you can't stop Chase Daniels, the defensive coordinator should be fired immediately. And I'm available if y'all need somebody to call some plays. So I went with Vikings. They were 3,400 is all I had left. But I think for that amount of money, I think they have potential of putting up big numbers. Mm-hmm. I think the ball is gonna be available to them. Chase Daniels is terrible. Detroit is about Galladay. So unless they're gonna run a ball all day, which I don't think they will. They're going to have to pass eventually. You guys going to see later. I got some more Minnesota Vikings players. But they're going to have to pass the ball eventually to keep up. And when they do that, good luck with Chase Daniels.
Mills.
Chase Daniel.
I went Washington football team against the Giants. Daniel Jones is turnover happy. I don't know. What's
Danny Thumbs, what Preach called him.
Yeah, Danny Thumbs.
You know what I mean? So I'm anticipating 2 interceptions, a forced fumble for a touchdown, and a couple sacks. So I'm looking at a 20-point day from Washington.
I think we all
Jameis Winston.
I think we all looking forward to that. But I actually didn't go up, Mike. I didn't.
Okay.
I went Houston at 3,700.
All right.
I went Houston at 3,700. And the reason why is because like Jacksonville's literally playing Fig Newton. I don't even know who the guy is. Something Luton. But
no matter. James Robinson gonna have 200.
And okay, whatever. But and he's not. But it's like I don't know who this guy is, but yet and still I believe Houston has to be able to generate something. Like you have a rookie. I don't even know I don't know who he is, but regardless, you have a player he's just starting. I mean, I think they would have did good against Gardner Minshew personally. It's interdivision. You know what I'm saying? I think Houston at least should give me, I would say like 12, 13, 14 points. And where I bought them, I think that's a great value. I think they'll hit value. So I pick Houston against first-time quarterback. He's going to be deer in headlights. So that's who I got. So, Mike, what I want to do is I want to set this up. What's up?
Before we move on, though, because I do want to tell the people who they should play. If y'all... This is going to probably be the most popular play this weekend.
Pittsburgh?
And that's Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's chalk.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
That's chalk. Yeah. They 5,000. They're the most expensive. I wanted them terribly bad. But I think a lot of people will have them. And I spent a lot of money on my skill players. But come on, man. We talk about Chase Daniels against one of the best defenses in the league. Pittsburgh turned everybody over. So they're going to eat Chase Daniel alive. He's going to be on his back half the game. So if you want a defense that score a lot of points, you go Pittsburgh. But just be wary that everybody's going to have them. But if they go off, you gotta be in the mix. You got to be in the mix of that. You don't want to be left out high and dry. So hopefully everybody go ahead and get Pittsburgh if you want that. I just want you to know I wanted to play them, but I decided not to just because I didn't have enough money at the end. but I really wanted to play them. So play them if you can.
Yeah, sometimes when you get that good defense, man, they definitely they help you out a lot, man. You get that top D, you get a little 30 piece right there on the bottom. You get that flaming fire shit down there, bro. That drink roll into play, man, and it definitely help you out a lot.
It can separate you. Only thing is, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to separate you. I think everybody is going to probably have them. Well, not everybody, but a majority of people are going to have Pittsburgh defense. So if you have them, you're going to be in the mix. But if you're in the mix, man, you're in the mix. And that's all that matters.
Okay. Yeah, Pittsburgh obviously is, man. That's everybody plays. So I just wanted to go a little contrarian on that. But let me see. What do I want to do? Let's go running backs.
Can we go flex?
Okay.
I don't want my flex to be last.
You don't want your flex to be last?
Nah, I like my running backs. I want the last thing I say to be something positive.
All right, let me hear your running backs, man.
No, I want to go flex.
I mean, your flex. I say running back because I have a running back in my flex. That's what.
Oh, I also have a running back in my flex.
Okay.
And I don't hate my flex. Let me see how much it was. 5,500. I went Wayne Gallman, man. I went Wayne Gallman. They playing the football team. They do have they're a good defense. Giants is not a great team, but Gallman, Freeman is not playing. Gallman played well. He played okay against Tampa. He had some runs that looked like, okay, if he would have beat that one person, he could have broke it. Let me see. Also, the Washington football team, they are a better pass defense than they are rush defense. They are 23rd against the rush. So with Wayne Gallman at 5,500, he's a starting back. Like, if you get down to 5,500, like, you're looking at, like, people third, fourth wide receivers. You're looking at, like, low end tight ends, maybe, backup tight ends. If you could get a starting running back for 5,500 versus, not a great football team, I guess pun intended or whatever the case may be, the Washington football team is not great. So it's not like they had to shut down Wayne Gallman. Like, no, they don't have to. Like, he can have a decent day. But I think he's going to get enough touches and enough opportunity on the field that for 5,500, I might have something.
I like it. I think Wayne Gallman's a perfect pick. And he actually looked good, too, last game. Mills, who you got in your flex?
Wayne Gallman.
My flex actually belongs in my three top receivers, but after rearranging some stuff and playing with players and stuff, I just ended up just throwing him in a flex. So I just left him there. He's still on my roster. He's probably my wide receiver one, to be 100% honest with you. I spent my money. I spent 7,200 on this player. He's averaging about 12 targets a game. All they gotta do is get in the end zone. If he get in the end zone, I'm good.
Preach, man.
I went Julio Jones, man.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
I spent the money on Julio. The last couple of games when he's healthy, he's cracking 100 yards a game. I think he had 137 last week, no touchdowns. A couple weeks ago, he had 137 with 2 touchdowns. So as long as he can get an end zone and Calvin Ridley on a pine, I'm good.
Yeah.
They're playing Detroit, right?
They're playing
Denver. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Calvin Ridley's going to play, so Julio should have a huge day.
Mills got some wides besides Marvin Hall. I see where you got Marvin Hall now.
Yeah. I guess like Mills, my flex, I guess you could say it should have been in my running back, just how I constructed it. But I spent up. I think Mike has the same player. You alluded to it, but it's Dalvin Cook. It's Dalvin Cook. Ho hum. Like, I think he's going to go off. Now, I will say to the people, I had enough money, and he was 9,300. Christian McCaffrey is 9,500. I had enough money to get Christian. I still have it with this lineup. But I don't know, man. I was unsure. But I do think that if Matt Stafford is out, then the Minnesota Vikings should pretty much beat them, right? And I think that Dalvin Cook should he's amazing. So he gets all the work. So yeah, I got Dalvin, but
This might be a bad time to bring this up, Preach. But I was looking through the notes earlier, and I have a notes that say I'm preaching rad bets. It's a bet in there. You said that Joe Mixon was going to be a better back than Dalvin Cook this year. Just want to let you know that.
Well,
is that looking good? Is that looking good right now?
Well, I might be all right.
Hey, no, you got 8 games left.
Yeah, as long as Joe Mixon come back, I think I'll be all right.
No, Mixon, he was playing well.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for my running backs.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I did allude to this earlier, and Preach did say who I have. I went Dalvin Cook, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Preach. We are a day late, but I'm hoping that we aren't $1 short. Because last week.
I gotta be
Yo.
sure, bro. If he popped like last week, that is ridiculous.
I'm just hoping we not $1 short.
I hope
We're
we
day
do
late, but hopefully we're not $1 short. Like I said, once again, man, he went off against the Packers. What he did against them was amazing, and they're playing Detroit. If he has a game where he do all his damage the first 3 quarters, he chilled the 4th quarter, it does not matter. Doesn't look at Devontae Adams last night. It didn't matter in the 4th quarter. You was already set.
Right about it.
You was already set. You was good. Aaron Rodgers, you was already set. MVS, you was already set. So if the Minnesota blow them out, you're good. Dalvin Cook is a great back. He's a great back. Paying $200 more for Christian McCaffrey, I'm good. I don't need that. Even if McCaffrey was $200 less, I probably still pick Dalvin right now. Dalvin, he's coming back from his injury. He looked fresh. He looked good. I'm happy. And like I said, and Detroit is a bad defense to begin with. I think they are 24th in defense, 26th versus the Russ. Like, listen, I'm picking good and great players against terrible teams, and they still had a ball out of all the time because Stafford not playing. I think Dalvin Cook is he primed for another big day. Maybe not as big last week, but a big day.
Mills.
I had Dalvin, but I actually took him out because I spent a lot of money on my receivers, so I had to make a choice. But like I stated earlier, that Seattle-Buffalo game should be a very high-scoring game. So I went DJ Dallas. Carson's out. Carlos Hyde's out. We all know Russ can move the ball. I'm just scared that DK may take those red zone targets or red zone chances, but I think DJ Dallas will get a couple chances to get in the end zone. I mean, he wasn't very, very productive last week, but he did see the end zone, I believe, once. So he's going to be the only back they have. So he's getting those rushing yards. He's getting those rushing carries. He's also getting those receptions out the backfield too. I think he's going to be very, very active in the game. I can see a lot of screens coming this week. So I went DJ Dallas as one of my RB1.
I like that pick, Mills, if the Bills play Seattle like they played the Chiefs. If they go 7 DBs, like 3 linemen, and dare, Seattle to run the ball, I like that. I like that play a lot because Dallas he get the carries, the volume going to be there, the lane's going to be there. The Bills is not a great rush defense. But I just can't imagine that the Bills are going to do that again after what happened against the Chiefs. So I think they may just play regular zone 4-3 type of scheme, something regular, not 7 DBs. So I think Seattle will be able to pass against them. And I don't know if Dallas can get those easy yards like CEH did. But I do like that play because the Bills is terrible run defense.
Yeah.
And we can't tackle. Like, to keep it a buck, we can't tackle. I don't think Milano's playing this week either. He missed the last couple practices. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a good play regardless.
The only thing is Travis Homer is activated. So Travis Homer, he's a 3rd down back. So DJ Dallas, he's not going to get the work that I think he got like almost 18, 20 touches last game. He's not going to get that this game. But he should get some work. Chris Carson's out. He should get some work. For me, I went Antonio Gibson. I went Antonio Gibson. I think he should have a good game against the Giants. He's coming off a really, really good game. They've been giving him the ball. So hopefully with Kyle Allen under center, Antonio Gibson should have a big game against the Giants. Hopefully they get him in the passing work and sit J.D. McKissick down. But then again, actually, I don't want that to happen because I have to start J.D. McKissick in one of my fantasy leagues. So I hope both of them do good. And Kyle Allen just dumps the ball off to them the whole game. But Mike, who you got as your other running back?
All right. I'll probably pick this person probably most frequently. And I always pick him on the wrong weeks. Mills talked about him earlier. I went James Robinson. He had a big week last week. But they playing the Texans, man. Texans, let me see. Texans are the 30th ranked defense, 31st in rushing. Like I said, I pick good players going against terrible teams. Houston is a terrible defense. And Robinson didn't have a great game last time they played Houston.
Right.
He had 5 catches, 22 yards, 13 rushes for 48 yards and a fumble. So, and like a whopping 7.5 fantasy points. So he didn't have a great week, a great game against them last time. I think they want to go ahead and fix that, remedy that. And I think they're going to get him, James Robinson, involved early, often, because Texans are a terrible, terrible defense. So I think James Robinson is poised for another big day, just like Dalvin Cook. I'm a day late. I told him not $1 short. And hopefully by Monday, hopefully by Sunday night, I got a lot of dollars.
Absolutely. Mills, who you got, man? I like the James. I like James Robinson. I was gonna pick him. I really was, but I don't know. I think I found some value somewhere else. But Mills, who you got?
I mean, I literally just said it probably like literally 3 or 4 minutes ago that James Robinson probably gonna rush for 200.
I'm so glad.
I don't know if he's gonna do that, but
I spent the rest of my money on James Robinson. Like you said, we don't know who's playing quarterback over there. I don't know who he is either.
Fake Newton.
He is the workhorse. Like he is all they have right now. And you gonna feed your player. I mean, I'm anticipating them running heavy and try to work in some play action to get the quarterback going. The play action probably is gonna fail, and they're just gonna keep running him with the ball. And when you get in the red zone, that's typically when you get that short field. That's when the quarterbacks make the most mistakes. So when they get down there, if they get the chance to get down there, he's running the field in. So I think he's going to have a big day. So James Robinson, I spent all of my money on him. So I think I was negative at one point. That's why. That's another reason why I went Marvin Hall, bro. I was negative. I was trying to put some boys. I was trying to put some boys in the lineup, bro, because I be hot. You know, the first couple, like the first 30 minutes of the games, you be in like 10th place. And then I dropped down to like 18,000. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, bro. And then doing first place, we having all the boys. Like, how you put this
how you get all the boys? All the boys.
It don't make no sense.
I don't get it, bro. Every week you like, they got Russell Wilson, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce. Like, how? Do you have that much players?
It is nuts. So I had to take a sacrifice at a receiver at a position. So Marvin Hall was my sacrifice. So I went James Robinson. I spent $7,000.
Yeah, I didn't know you could overdraft over there. You was negative? What?
Yeah, you get negative.
You can go negative, Mike. You can go negative.
They never let me.
Yeah, they let me. You might got the bad. You got the bad one.
I got to update the app.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Say, boys got credit over there.
But I'm going with Chase Edmonds. I think this is one of the weeks Chase Edmonds should have a huge game, right? Kendrick Drake is out. Chase Edmonds is actually playing better than him. He's gonna get all the work, and I think he's gonna have one of. I think he's gonna have one of those 125 2-touchdown games like Mills keep talking about, or at least 150 all purpose. Maybe 70 on the ground, 70 in the air, something to that effect. But yes, I think Chase Edmonds is going to have a good game. He's 6,700. And I like my team, y'all. I'm going to be honest. I like my team. I spent up certain positions. Quarterback, obviously Dalvin Cook. Keenan Allen, but I think we can make some money here. Mike, how you feel about your team?
Oh man, I don't hate it. I don't hate my team. I think I'm definitely gonna be in the money. It's just about where, right? It's just about where I need, bro. Every week I've been telling Angie, like, listen, babe, I'm gonna do this enough. I'm gonna get us some money. I gotta deliver eventually. Yeah. So we gonna see. How you feel, Mills?
I always feel good going into the game, and then like I said, man, we get an hour in, and I just keep dropping and dropping, and then I scroll up and I compare my team with the player in first place, and I'm like, yo, how do they make these plays? Like the man picked up Mooney last week, and the man ate. Like, yo,
you listen.
Where did he come from?
I would have been upset if last night's game. Who was it?
James.
Yes. If James would have been on the slate, I would have been pissed. Like, oh my God, I would have strangled somebody if they would have had him in his lineup. Like, who knew about Richie James? Like, who knew about Richie James? Like, I can't. Listen. That's why sometimes I be trying to pick obscure people. I just pick somebody like, I never heard of you, but somehow or another, somebody's gonna go off. Like somebody's gonna go off.
It's gonna happen.
But listen. A word to the wise: try not to chase points. Try to go through a process. You know what I'm saying? And if your process don't work out, sometimes it don't work out. But chasing points is never the way to go in fantasy. But anybody got any other last words?
No, just good luck to your boys, man. I think we are due for money. Like, I've been winning enough money that I don't have to dip into the money that I put in originally. But that's not the point. I'm doing this. Like, I'm not doing this just for fun. Like, I'm looking for like a decent payday, at least a 4-digit or high 3-digit payday off of this at the end of it. So winning my money back and stuff, plus a little more like of interest, is not what I'm looking for. I could go buy some bonds if I wanted that. So we here for big money. We trying to get y'all big money.
All right. Thank you, Mills, for coming on. Thank you, Mike.